Okay, so I'm Divya, in case you guys don't know me already. And I work at Mobi now. And let's begin. So Europe, this part of the world that all of you live in, a part of the world where deficit has no place, be it food, water, infrastructure. You guys even have bike lanes to bike on. And energy. So, okay, I work in the energy sector, and let's focus on the energy situation, yeah? So 1.2 billion people on this planet, as of 2017, still do not have access to continuous or even to supply of energy, according to the International Energy Agency. So let's imagine, what if your world had this deficit, energy deficit? What if Europe looked like that? So, I don't have to imagine this. I've lived it. I come from India, and that picture you see up there, the first one, that's a grocery store, and that's a grocery store where my parents have bought vegetables and fruits since I can remember, since when I was a little child. That is like a Christmas market, but this is a very recent picture, so you see bulbs over there, which are all illegally drawn, you know, just you pull up wires from the existing electric lines going by. But I remember those used to be kerosene lamps when I was a little kid. So this is very common in my part of the world, and I'm going to narrate a small story of my childhood. This is when I was about 12 years old, and we had about 9 hours of power cut every day in my city, sometimes also during the evening. So what do little kids do when they're bored? You can't read. No light, and reading under candlelight is really bad for your eyesight. You can't watch TV, no electricity, so what do? You go out and play. So here I was, this 12-year-old kid playing hide and seek with a big group of my friends, because all the kids were out on the road. No street lights, absolutely pitch dark. Maybe a stupid thing to do in retrospect, but then I tripped on a stone and I fell face first onto somebody's head. There was a lot of yelling, wailing, shouting, blood, and people didn't know what happened, you know? Why is somebody crying? Why are these two little kids crying? They rushed me to the doctor. I got treated, blah, blah, blah. So, side fact, these two front teeth are actually not teeth, they're caps. Yeah, I don't know if any of you noticed. But yeah, I've had some situations like this happen to me. And I had a couple of times my cousins from the United States comment when I said, there's no power at home. They would say, what is that supposed to mean? What do you mean by there's no power at home, you know? This word power cut is such a common word in our part of the world, which you guys probably have not experienced almost ever. So this is when I decided that this energy inequality is absolutely not cool, and if there is anything I can do about it, I will. And hence, that brought me to this beautiful country, Tanzania. This is where I've been living for the last 6 months now, and I work with people who live in such situations. It's not all sad, it's a fun adventure. So, welcome to my East African adventure. Like I said, it's not all sad. That is Mount Meru right there. It's beautiful, and I watch her every day while at work. She just stands there every day, and I can actually, yeah, it's beautiful. So let me tell you a little bit about this company I work for, Mobi, and why I really connect so deeply with it. Mobi started in 2011 with 3 Germans who went for a trip to Tanzania, and then they said, okay, we can do something about the energy situation here. And they started in Tanzania in 2011. Today, Mobisol is more than 1,000 employees, 4 countries so far, 5th coming up very soon. And I'm very glad I joined at this time in the Mobisol history, because we very recently powered our 100,000 system, and going by an average of 5 people per household, it's 500,000 people. And yes, those smiles are real. You really do see those smiles, like I said before. And that's a very big driving factor for each one of us at Mobisol, and me personally too. Because I know today that there are 500,000 people lesser with a lesser possibility of having caps as their front teeth. So this is how a basic Mobisol system looks. What you see there is the battery with a solar controller. Let me tell you quickly what the solar controller does. So you sell systems to customers who can't afford to pay it upfront, so you give them a pay-as-you-go solution. And this solar controller here can be controlled from Berlin to cut off power whenever the customer can't afford to pay. So yeah, this is how we ensure that the customer pays for it, but also give the customer the flexibility to not pay for it when they don't have money in their pocket. And then, human nature, right? You always want something better. So it's not enough to just have a bunch of lights, you want more. So how do we ensure that we can also keep the world plugged in, because that's what we're trying to do, and at the same time enable them to earn some money out of it, and in turn, climb up this economic ladder somehow. So we realized that, so this was not a conscious effort initially, but then we realized with some of our surveys that 30% of our customers are actually using the systems to make money out of it. And that was an aha moment for us, because we said, okay, so let's even enable this further. Let's help them get plugged in on a wider basis. So how do we do this? This is where the Mobi Lab comes into play. And this is the department in Mobisol that I head. I have a team of 5 Tanzanians and 2 Americans and a German working under me. And this is how the Mobi Lab looks. It's entirely solar powered. And so what is the Mobi Lab? It's this cool testing workshop place where we take ideas from the field when we talk to our customers, and we say, okay, guys, tell us what is it you're struggling with? What can we help you with? And they say, okay, this is what I want. For example, I want a fridge because my meat gets spoiled. I'm a butcher. Or, yeah, they basically give us ideas, and we take these ideas and try to convert it into tangible solutions for them. It can be a product or it can be a service. The other part of the Mobi Lab is that we are allowed to experiment a lot in the Mobi Lab. So right now we are trying to build a solar welding machine. So this is the place where investors come by and see us constantly try to innovate new things, and they are at all, they're like, oh wow, you're doing stuff here, It's not just about selling solar home systems. You're taking it that one step further. So this is the idea that we, over time, will be able to give customers better services that are not limited to only entertainment. And this would ensure that they stay plugged in. So for example, by giving them a solar fridge and a light, this is called a Duka. It's a corner store where you can buy bananas and peanuts and small knickknacks. So this guy or this owner can use extra time for their business. Instead of closing it at 6 o'clock, they can probably close it at 9 or 10, thus ensuring they get more income. And also ensuring that they just don't end up at the bar and drink themselves to sleep every day. And music is a very big deal in East Africa. They love loud music. So music systems are very high on every customer's list. So these are small solutions we're trying to empower them with, so they never have to look for a diesel generator instead over time, or for thermal power plants, for example. Yeah, so the idea is to ensure that solar can answer all their needs and that they remain plugged into the world all throughout. So we started with energy, and we said, let's energize. But then we realized education is a very powerful tool. So now Mobisol is also trying to get off-grid computer systems, which it's not just a computer system, but it also kind of is like an internet, but off-grid. So that those tiny round things you see there, they're actually called endless OS systems, which have many applications, open source applications that schools can use, that offices can use, and they don't have to be on the grid, and they don't have to have electric supply. Health. I mean, we want our customers to be healthy, so we say, okay, let's give them a water filter. It may not be the best solution, but it's a better solution than drinking this highly fluorinated, highly bacteria-infested water that they just get off the ground. And then we also try to improve the efficiency of their cooking system. We also are trying to push them to use such stoves which ensure a much better combustion of the coal, and thus reducing their resource wastage too. So this stove that you see here can actually reduce their coal, the amount of coal they buy by about 1/3 per month. So that's a big deal for them again, money save. So this is a complete circle, because by ensuring that they are well educated, ensuring they are healthy, ensuring they are protecting their environment and also their nutrition value is going higher, we empower them to buy better energy solutions. So, if what I've spoken about so far has inspired you in any way, motivated you to be a part of this whole beautiful plug-in-the-world revolution, I would love to invite you to join, hop on, and let me tell you, well, there are simple ways how you could do this. One, you could reach out to me. Come tell me how you want to contribute, whether you want to contribute in money. It may be just 2 drinks, I say, because it can be 2 coffees, 2 beers, 2, I don't know, gin tonics a week. But what you need to keep in mind is that €5 you spend per week, which becomes 20 in a month, makes a very big difference in somebody's life. It might be just €20 for you, but it's that big a difference. Alternately, East Africans, they really need better education, they really need better skills. So if you think you could contribute in that way, great, just reach out to me and let's see if I can help you set up an online way of training them in some courses, even if it's as basic as PowerPoint or Excel, you know, because every little step counts. And lastly, I will say, stay motivated. Guys, 1.2 billion people, I cannot address this deficit of energy. Mobisol alone cannot address it. The idea is that every drop counts, but the bigger the group, the better it is. And ending this presentation on a lighter note, some fun moments from my work time. That was the first field installation I went for. And that was Game of Thrones, and I'm super proud of it. We screened it every week. 43 inches, solar-powered, pure screening. That was a lot of fun. Yeah. And that was on one of my field visits. Maasai country. You see, it's like you're in National Geographic, guys. Literally, it's beautiful. Come visit. It's a beautiful country. And Those are my details. If you have any questions, I'll be very happy to answer you right now. Thanks.